Mary had a little lamb.
The fault. We believe that all men are created equal.
To the magnificent mosaic that is America.
From radio beacon to radio beacon. I have a dream today. Change has come to America.
Believe me.
Knock, knock. Who's there?
It's a figment of your imagination.
Randy Rhodes Show.
Turn up your mind.
If you excluded debunked conspiracy theories, could any of these people actually tell you why Vladimir Putin is so bad? Why is he so bad? He's bad, Chuck Todd says. Okay. Speak slowly so I can understand. What makes Vladimir Putin worse than, I don't know, a whole long list of American allies? Let's try the King of Saudi Arabia, for example, or the people who run the Emirates, the people on whose payroll so many in Washington are right now. Why is he worse than them? They couldn't answer that. For Chuck Todd and the rest of the dummies, Vladimir Putin isn't a real person with actual ideas and priorities and a country and beliefs. No, he stopped being that long ago. He's a metaphor, a living metaphor. He's the boogeyman. Step out of line and you're a traitor in league with Vladimir Putin. Let's put his picture on the screen. Can we get his picture on the screen?
His picture's on the screen.
Please. The irony, of course, is that Putin, for all his faults, does not hate America as much as many of these people do. They really dislike our country. And they call other people traitors because they're mouthing the talking points of Putin. These are people who don't know anything about Russia, who don't speak Russian, who couldn't identify 3 cities in Russia.
That is the alternative universe. I cannot believe that the conservative media is actually promoting the goodness of the killer criminal oligarch, of the thievery, of the oppressive invade your neighbors, Vladimir Putin, of the guy who shoots down passenger planes twice, the guy who poisons people, the guy who tortures people, the guy who kills any opponent that runs against him or dares to run against him. Investigative journalists. I don't know. You remember Anna Politkovskaya? It's a hard name to say. Politkovskaya. She was an investigative journalist. She exposed Russian atrocities in Chechnya. They gunned her down in the stairwell of her apartment building in 2006. This is just crazy. A member of the Russian parliament was gunned down in broad daylight in Kiev, in Ukraine. A Russian ambassador to the United Nations, suddenly drops dead at work. A Russian-backed commander in the Ukrainian breakaway province of Donetsk was blown up in an elevator. A Russian media executive was found dead in a D.C. hotel room. Sergei Magnitsky was beaten with a rubber hose, literally, to death in prison and denied medical care. I mean, polonium and Skripal and his daughter Julia, everything. I mean, this is crazy. And they're defending this man. They're defending him. What's so bad about Putin? What's so bad about him? He belongs with the Kim Jong-uns of the world. He belongs with the, Saudi kings of the world who also torture their relatives and dismember people in Turkish embassies. Erdogan, another autocrat. Viktor Orban, Poland, another autocrat. I mean, these are people that will murder their own people to enrich themselves. And Donald Trump wants to be like them. And Fox News is giving him a green light. We got the base. You go take whatever you want. Just make sure you give us some vig. Make sure that we get paid. Devin Nunes, how much money did he get? Lindsey Graham, how much money did he get? All these crazy freaking people, how much money did they get? Did the NRA launder $30 million or not? And if they did, where did it go? Where did it go? This is unbelievable, and he won't stop. I mean, Tucker Carlson last week, he said he was rooting for Russia. He said it again last night, and Jim Jordan is sitting there on the TV with him, and he tells Jim Jordan, I'm rooting for Russia.
I should say, for the record, I'm totally opposed to these sanctions, and I don't think that we should be at war with Russia. And I think we should probably take the side of Russia if we have to choose between Russia and Ukraine. That is my view.
That is my view. I think we should take the side of Russia over Ukraine. Russia invaded Ukraine. Here's the thing that you need to know. Ukraine, as I've told you a million times, is the largest country in Europe. It's huge. So Russia is some third-rate country without Ukraine. with Ukraine, it's an empire. Ukraine wants to be a democratic, Western allied, European allied nation. They want to be a democracy. They want free and fair elections. They want free speech. They want freedom of assembly. They want all the things that we would want for any country. And Russia wants to kill, maim, mangle, and mutilate people and cover it up. They want to poison people. They want to down airliners. They want to steal from their own people. They want a mafioso kind of a government where all the money has to be paid to the capo, and the capo is Putin. And he wants to put back together the old Soviet Union, which we spent a fortune dismantling since World War II. Stalin killed 22 million of his own people, of Russians. He killed 22 million Russians. Does everybody remember who Russia is, what the old Soviet Union is, that Vladimir Putin is a KGB agent, that they hacked America, they conducted cyber warfare on America? Never mind the planes and the poison and the people falling off balconies and people drowning in their bathtubs. Yeah, that happens in Russia. Never mind that people in Russia get $450 a month to live on, and Vladimir Putin's one of the richest men in the world. Never mind that. Donald Trump wants what Vladimir Putin has. He wants 98% of the vote. That's what he wants. He wants to be a unitary executive. Screw the Constitution. And they're defending him on Fox News, and the Republicans are defending him. I mean, this is the sickest thing in the world. I want to show you a little exchange last night. This was amazing on CNN. It was amazing for many, many reasons. But this is the guy who took Ron Paul's seat, not Rand Paul, but Ron, the father. Remember, the father was only a congressman from Texas, his 14th district. So now this guy, Randy Weber, is now occupying that particular seat in Texas, okay? He goes on Chris Cuomo last night. Check this out.
Chris, was CrowdStrike involved in the DCCC hacking?
Yes.
Or is CrowdStrike in part owned by a Ukrainian?
No.
Really?
Yes.
That's not the information. Yes, really, or yeah, that's not the information that we have. And
you
the
have
president
bad
is
information. The man is American born of Russian descent. He's not Ukrainian. And even if he were, that's what you're going to hang it on? Your head of national security, Tom Bossert, said that was a joke. You heard testimony from experts saying it's a joke. The intel community says it's not true. Mueller said it's not true. Burr said it's not true.
What Trump is saying is go back and let's look at all of the information on the DCCC server that helped fight against his campaign.
They operated in a cloud system. There is no server to steal.
No server, but they were hacked into, and the president wanted that investigated. It's one of the things that he gave to President Zelensky as an example of corruption.
It was investigated. What he went to Zelensky with was a conspiracy theory that there's some missing server when there is no physical server. CrowdStrike and the FBI both said it.
This is really twisted. This is really weird. Now, I have to say Chris Cuomo was incorrect. Let's just correct, because, you know, it's not that big of a deal, but still, you want to get the facts right? So I hope maybe he'll fix it tonight. But the man who co-founded CrowdStrike, his name is Dmitry Alperovitz. And Dmitry was born in Moscow, not Ukraine. So that's true enough. He's not Ukrainian. But he was born in Moscow, and he emigrated to the United States as a young teenage boy. Young, very young, like 13. So the co-founder of CrowdStrike is not Ukrainian, as Donald Trump keeps telling the crazy people out there, the Cult 45 members. He is from Moscow. He came here at 13 years old. There is a server. It's in the DNC headquarters basement, but the email server was cloud-based.